Crawford wanted the three and left it short. George the rebound. A little bit of time here for the Thunder as he will launch it from half court and it goes. You're going to check the replay. But Paul George at the buzzer of the third quarter. I'm a little surprised they're not putting anybody on the ball here. They're going to double team Dennis Schroeder, but they get it into Paul George. Has time to take a dribble, pulls up for three and knocks it down. Paul George at the buzzer from downtown. And the Thunder take advantage of the two and change. And we'll head into the locker room with an 8-point halftime.
Teardrop. That one was up there by the shot clock right there, Dave.
That scraped the sky on the way down.
Wow. Time to put pressure on the Nets.
Long ball, Paul George elevates, and the Thunder is dunked off the feed from Westbrook. The Thunder in this fourth quarter.
Look at that. It's just hung up there. Had elevation, hang time.
Clutch. Paul George now with 30.
Nicely done by Dennis Schroeder. Now Adams getting back. Here come the Thunder with numbers. Schroeder drops it off. George elevates and detonates here in Oklahoma City. Question we've been asking all season long. How do you defend Paul George? This time, Isaac trying to keep him in front. George takes the bump. Got it to drop and the foul. Everything dropping in for PG is the individual supremacy on display yet again.
Okay, is it time to drop the mic? I don't have a mic in my hand, but this is amazing, folks. And I know you've heard me say that several times, but this is what we're seeing from Paul George.
2-point game. Here comes Westbrook. Off to Adams. Westbrook corner. George for the lead. Westbrook got the assist. It is a three.
Absolutely.
They've got the lead. Westbrook has a triple-double, and Paul George may have just won this game for the Thunder.
And Aminu, came up and got blocked by George. First half, but what a denial on the defensive end by Paul George.
You talk about access denied at the rim. Paul George, just perfect timing.
Here in this quarter. Look at Paul George too, Mike. Oh, beautiful pass, and George with the slam. Great execution, on-point delivery. Little backdoor play, and Russell Westbrook delivers the pass. Paul George.
He's just everywhere right now, Steven Adams.
George gets the contact and the foul. Count the three. Paul George going to go to the line for a possible 4-point play. Saric floats it up. That bounces off the back of the rim as the Thunder inching closer up ahead. George soars and throws it down. By PG-13, nobody can stop that. Get above the rim. Forcing Tom Thibodeau and the T-Wolves to take a timeout. Thunder inching closer with 7:10 to go in the second.
Off-ball screens, they're switching very little. On-ball, they'll switch a little bit more, but you're right. Paul George with a terrific three-point play opportunity. He does the dirty work at the defensive end. He'll drive through screens. But the catch and go by George, the bump by Matthews, and the shot.
Lack any type of elevation on that shot, folks.
Look at the fast break opportunity. 17-0 now. Westbrook creates another one. This time it's George on the other end, and the windmill can get out with the best of them.
And you just love the steals. Look what's happening. It's creating a lot of fun out there, a lot of flow to the game. This is Thunder basketball in transition.
Setting up a good second half here in Dallas. We'll have it for you. Stay tuned.
6-3 OKC, but Lakers with the handle on the basketball. And it's thrown away. They lead in steals. This guy right there leads the NBA in steals. Paul George.
Asking for trouble as he's got his second steal already in his second flush.
George sizing him up. Boy, we've seen that go down so many times, but he saves it out of bounds, and it sets up a T-firm triple.
I'm gonna let you talk about that.
Durant blocked. Diallo swats Durant, tried to go behind the back. It ends up in the hands of George. Reverse stuff. Pass or shot. It ends up being Thunderball anyway, and a breakaway for George. And a stop.
How about that overtime game? 3 minutes left, down 2, and you go with a windmill.
Nets can't afford to foul either.
Schroeder to get it into Westbrook. Westbrook over to George. George got the flyby. 3 on the way. He's good with 3.1 seconds. George gives the Thunder the 2-point lead.
Watch this, folks.
Time 3. As George was left open, made the right decision, got the flyby, plenty of time, and only fitting as he's got 47 on.
Okay, Paul George.
Paul George here. Here's the reverse 360. Throw
It'll
down.
always be a Laker town, but for a minute, it was a Clipper town.
Boy, beautiful ball movement. The Thunder started by Schroeder, who rifled a pass down low to George, who then finds Steven Adams, who's now with 9 points, but just excellent ball movement.
And that's what makes Paul George so dangerous. He's a triple threat at all times. He can pass.
The 5th spot all the way down to 8. It just depends on who's playing and who wins and who loses. George finally connects from 3, his first of the night after missing his first 5. Time though for the Thunder. Westbrook quickly gets it over to Jeremy Grant. Drives to the rim, lost it on the way up. Does George get it off in time? He does, and that 3 will count. Right at the gun as Grant lost control on his way up. He bobbled the basketball, and Paul George was in the perfect. Schroeder comes up to set the screen. George with the 3. That is good. Paul George capping this big Thunder run right before the end of the first half. 12 quick ones microwaved. And it's Paul George's 3, much second 3 of the first half. Time for the Thunder here. Westbrook goes behind his back, finds George slashing all the way to the rim. Just in time. Providing a little punch here off the bench for the Pacers. Nifty move. George on the step back 3, and he splashes it home. Paul George from downtown.
He's just feeling it. There's that step back. He's backing up already.
Alex Abrinas on the floor. George was trying to draw contact. There wasn't any, but he buried the shot anyway to give the Thunder the lead.
I think they're going to review that. He's saying that Drew Holiday got him on the arm. He said, I'm having to adjust. Holiday can eat up some space.
George in the corner. Got by. Goes to the rim. Throws it down. Counted and a foul.
Well, you could just see a foul coming because he bodied him up out on the wing. May have gotten away with a hand check. That's old school basketball. And he just blew right by him.
And it snapped what was 33 consecutive wins for the Blazers, with leading going into the 4th quarter. As George slips his way and throws it down.
You see right here, Paul George. I mean, this is just beautiful. This is beautiful basketball. Pick and roll, situation. Come get the downhill run, and there's nobody back there.
Would give you a little argument on that one back in the day. But he rivaled Doc.
Yeah.
Dr. Dart all over.
Oh, they were close. Yeah. Paul George off glass and 1. That stops the bleeding for OKC. The foul is going to go against Dinwiddie, his first personal foul.
Elitza, Willie Cauley-Stein, what a denial from behind. How about Paul George catching up to the play and causing the jump ball on the block?
And he had no chance. I thought he was going to foul him, just do an intentional foul. But this is the defense that Paul George plays. I mean, this is a sure 2 for Willie Cauley-Stein, and he catches him.
Just underway, and the Thunder defense comes up with a steal. Here is Grant, out to George, got it right back, goes right to the rim, and hammers it home. 16 turnovers a game, that's 4th most in the NBA. Those active Thunder hands always getting in the passing lane, and this is a way to get some of those easy buckets and not let that Jazz defense get set.
And you got to also bust up that.
Open 3, Paul George lines it up. And the rebound to Murray, but George intercepts the pass. Knifing his way, avoids Jokic and scores.
Look at this. He read that the whole way. And look, he knows he's got
Before the game, he has a lot of confidence in what Alex can do defensively.
He's got one of the best defensive ratings on the team. It's Paul George on the second shot of the possession. Buries home the three.
4 on the 24, George. Count it, and the foul. Chance for a 4-point play.
Well, 3 balls all over the place here. Paul George with the 4-point.
He's always got the Thunder off to a good start when he gets those early touches.
George flies all the way to the rim and throws it down. 3 and 36. Look at this. He got a running start.
He's got Adebayo trying to figure out, do I go and leave Steven Adams for the lob, or do I take a hard charging?
Shooting 75%, that has pushed the Nuggets to a 5-point lead. George again, same play, almost this time at Barton, who contends that he stood his ground, but George can get in the and one for the possible 3-point play.
And you remember, you talked about they're going to chase him off that 3-point line. Here he's posted up in the mid-post. He's got the height, he's got the skill set advantage over Will Barton, and just basically, that's called a bully move, you know. And
he does not hang his hat on his scoring alone anymore. Russell Westbrook is just the assist, his rebounding ability. He's defending at a higher level. Ooh, that's a tough shot.
Taking advantage of, you know, the smaller size Dwight Powell on him.
Adams' activity now. Powell went underneath. Inside, George came over to help out and blocks the shot. Nicely contested by Steven Adams. Now they give it back to Adams, and it's his turn for a two-handed stuff down the other way.
Baseline to baseline. Now, folks, this basketball court is 94 by 50. He ran about 93 feet. Deficit pretty quickly. It's just now at 2.
Now a turnover. Diallo got by Batum. What a finish, Hamidou Diallo. That play just a reach just to knock it away, and Diallo, you just can't keep up with it.
He ran right the 3-ball. But you're right, there has to be some kind of balance to it. Paul George lines up another 3-ball.
And knocks down another 3. Catch and shoot 3. Adams back taps it out to Ferguson. George, the reload. That's good. Paul George, another tray. He's 3 for 3 in the game. Hey, you take it, you run. Jeremy Lamb, there's a turnover. Good pressure on the ball. Paul George waits, hesitates to the rim, and goes above the rim.
That's what you call
so much, Michael, the defense into offense.
Watch Paul George. He played 2 guys. He had to play Nicholas Batum on the perimeter. You don't want to give him the 3. He was like a defensive back in football. Just played between 2 guys. And I think 19,000 agree with me.
George takes the bump. Are they going to give him the continuation? They will. Counted in the foul.
You know, he's quick when he needs to be, but he can slow motion you.
George twirls, and that silky smooth stroke knocks one down to get in transition.
That's the one you want to keep down. At the same time, you want to be who you are. And forcing those turnovers as Grant put the Thunder on the scoreboard. And he's still in attack mode. I love that because you know he can shoot the 3. Kind of set Luka Doncic up, and watch out. Here we go.
George.